Check. Hey.
What's up, YouTube? Today we're gonna be kind of doing a little bit of things around the house, and we're gonna start with the tractor I just got. Actually, I just traded that 3-wheel golf cart that I got for that rear axle for this. And whenever I traded for this, the guy said it did run before he parked it, which of course he parked it behind a barn, which is so dumb. But before that, this was in competitions. It would pull stuff. So I was pretty excited because I just like the rear tires are so big, and I want to get this going so I can plow my driveway, because right now, you know, all I have is a small little 2-stroke and it takes forever to do the whole driveway. So back to this, I got it on the trade and it's supposed to run. The only thing wrong with it is the gearbox to steer it in the front, which you already started to remove. I need to get that out of a scrapyard. So today, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the carburetor off, clean it, because, you know, I'm sure this thing's been setting for probably years. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the carburetor off, clean it, you know, take the spark plug out, see if the spark plug is still good or not. You know, basically just kind of routine maintenance, oil and stuff like that, and then try to see if we can at least jump start it while I'm waiting to get that gearbox for the front end. And then after that, I'm excited because I finally got a carport, a 10x20 carport. My wife finally let me get it because I kept on leaving stuff on her side of the garage, and finally irritated her enough to let me get one. So we're gonna be putting that together today, and that way we can put all my toys in the carport instead of, you know, some of them being underneath the deck, or, you know, some of them being on her side. So all right, let's go ahead and start tearing into the carburetor of this bad boy.
Hey guys, so as you can see, there's a little ball of just gunk right down there on the bottom of the bowl. So that tells me that these jets are definitely be full of crap. As I was tearing apart, I noticed that the fuel intake valve had no spring connecting it to the float. Sprayed a little bit of carburetor clean in there, cleaned it up, grabbed another carb to try to see if I can find that same spring and be able to take it off one of my old carbs, but unfortunately not. Of course, none of my other carbs would match up with the spring. So I just went ahead and cleaned out all of the jets and then put everything back in until I can find a carburetor rebuild kit and replace all the gaskets. As you can see right there, that's what I'm talking about, how there's no spring on my float. There's supposed to be a spring that pulls that fuel intake valve back whenever the fuel is too low. So I just went ahead, like I said, put everything back together, and then I'm going to put some parts on order and get a rebuild kit for that. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the gas tank off. I'm going to take the head off just to kind of see what the cylinder looks like, because he said it was 40 over, and I wanted to see if they actually did bore it 40 over or not. And as you can tell, they did, because there's slop. And what they did is they put the original piston back in, but then they just bought bigger rings, and they were trying to make up the gap right there. So I don't know if this thing's even going to get compression or not. I don't know, we'll try. And if it doesn't, then I'll just have to buy a new piston. But now I'm trying to see if I can get a spark. And I narrowed it down to the coil. There was electricity getting to the coil, but nothing was coming out of it. So I'm going to put a new coil on order. Hopefully that'll fix the problem. And if anybody knows anything else I should try, just let me know. Now this is how the steering box works. There's little grooves in there that this bolt right here actually pushes up against the shiny one, and as you turn it, it moves that plate go up and down. And the bolt broke off. I put a different thread in there so that way I can put just a stock bolt with coarse thread, because that's all I had laying around. So after I put it in there, you know, I cut it, and then I ground a flat spot on it so that way that I could use a screwdriver to screw it in, and then the original nut that keeps it tightened on there, I went ahead and re-threaded that so that way that would work with my bolt also. That's the steering leg that connects to it. And there's the steering box. And as that screw goes up and down on there, that pulls it, which pulls the steering rod. And now I'm doing what everybody hates, trying to find bolts, because for some reason there's no bolts. But as you can see, the steering works just fine. Now this is what I've been waiting for so long. I'm so happy for this carport. I got it at Menards. Now let's go ahead and put it together now that we got some Mountain Dew in us.
On the way to being free.
And then right now we're just building the centerpieces. Buddy Sean came over and helped me again for a little bit. And then of course he had to leave for a party. It was so bad. There was bent bars, like right here you can see. I'm having a problem with that bar because it was bent brand new out of the box. There's like 2 or 3 bars that were like that. They were crimped on certain places, like they just fell off forklift or something. It was terrible. And here it is finished. This was a huge pain in the butt. This is another thing that was damaged, one of those ratchets that come with it to tighten down the tarp. And this edge was such a pain in the butt because you actually had to put it around the bar. And I didn't realize that. And now I'm just going ahead and shoving all my crap in there. Now some of these projects are going to be coming up pretty soon. I know one of them's already sold, and then I actually already have another go-kart in there. Weak. Boo. Now, I took it easy on there because the spindles on it are actually well cracked, so I didn't really want to bend it too bad, but I was trying to get some shot. There'll be better videos in the future. So much power.
Oh, that's wet. Ooh, that's cold. Alright, so we got the steering done on the tractor, but there's still tons of play on it. I'd say like half a turn, or maybe even 1 turn. It's ridiculous. I tried just steering it going down the hill to go park it in there. It's kind of scary. And then as you can see, you know, I got to get a new coil. I still got to do research. I haven't done research on that tractor at all. That's my first old tractor I've ever had, so not an expert. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what works. But all right, guys. Well, I'll see you next week. Peace!